Hey guys, I got something very special for you today. Today we're going to be reviewing the Biostar X370GTN, which was the first AM4 ITX motherboard. Now there are two other models at the current time as this video, both by Gigabyte and ASRock. But I ended up choosing this. I'm going to review it and let you know why I chose this. So first, looking at what this actually comes with the motherboard, obviously, comes with 4 SATA cables, and then 2 different, one's a quick start guide and one is the actual manual, which pretty basic, but not bad for the price that you get. Oh, and one more thing that is very vital that they thankfully included: the DVD with all your drivers on it. But as you saw in my portable PC build that you can see in the card here, I did say that I was eventually switching to Ryzen, and that's why I bought this motherboard, even though in that video I did say that I wasn't going to buy this motherboard. And the reasoning is because I actually figured out a solution to the problem I mentioned in that video. So let's take a look at the actual motherboard. So looking at what comes with this motherboard, obviously you get the AM4 socket, which supports all of Ryzen 7 and Ryzen 5 and the future Ryzen 3 processors. There are 2 DIMM slots for the dual channel memory supported by the Ryzen platform. There's the chipset, which is under this little block here, which is in kind of a nice carbon fiber kind of look. There's a heatsink over here that also shares this same kind of carbon fiber look, but this one is RGB underneath. And so you can control the lighting scheme with the Biostar software. You have a 4-pin CPU connector here and a 24-pin connector here. And from preliminary testing on this motherboard so far, this doesn't seem to affect overclocking ability at all. I know a lot of motherboards, including ITX ones, will have 8-pin CPU connectors now, but it doesn't seem to affect the overclocking performance, at least on Ryzen 7, which is what I've tested it on so far. Going across the top of the motherboard, you have 2 Rgb headers, which is kind of nice because you actually have the ability of manipulating 2 different LED strips then and do unique color combinations with the Biostar RGB application, which also controls the RGB here. And you have a CPU fan header and a system fan header. Sadly, this is the only system fan header besides the CPU fan header on this board, so prepare for some sort of hub if necessary for your build. And I'll even link a couple down below if you're interested in getting a system hub if you're looking at this motherboard. On the right side of the board, excluding the 24-pin I've already mentioned, you have the typical front I/O connections. You have 2 SATA ports here. You have a USB 3.0 hub. And then you have your other 2 SATA ports over here. Then you have a USB 2.0 header and your HD audio connection here. And at the very bottom here, you have a PCIe x16 slot, as well as on the back, there is an M.2 slot that does support both the shorter length ones and the slightly longer ones. And this is a x4 slot here. On the I/O, we're looking pretty good as far as USB 3.0 ports. There are 2 here right below the LAN connection, 1 USB 3.0 port, 1 USB 3.1 Type-C port, an HDMI port, DVI-D port, 2 USB 3.0 ports here, and then all your audio connections here, including an optical out port. And don't forget about the trusty PS2 port, because we all need PS2s. Badly. Don't mess with my PS2 port. Don't. So if you guys stay up to date on this channel, you might be scratching your heads right now because I just had that portable PC build video where I discussed that I'm planning on moving to Ryzen and making that part of the portable PC build. But in that video, I specifically singled out the Biostar X370GTN motherboard and said that wasn't a board I was interested in because it has no Wi-Fi and no Bluetooth. and both of those connections are kind of important for a portable PC build. So why did I choose it? The reason I ended up choosing it was one of two reasons. One is aesthetics. Both the ASRock and Gigabyte motherboards that just came out, which are the only other two motherboards that are AM4 ITX motherboards, they both have this red and black theme. And even though the original theme of that build, the portable PC, was red and black, I want it to be more monochrome so that I can change the color scheme with lighting rather than the actual parts in the build. So I want everything to be more black, and this motherboard is clearly fits that look because it's all just carbon fiber look, black, and I can control the RGBs here. And if I want to, I can implement the RGB strips I already have in that case with these headers. Not sure if I'm doing that yet. I haven't really had my hands on this, the DJ Master Tool or whatever it's called. I believe it's Vivid LED DJ. I've never tried it before, but I'm going to test out that program. And if you guys want, I can do a video on that software in particular, but I don't know how interesting that would honestly be. Anyways, though, the massive reason I chose this board besides aesthetics was actually this header right here. The reason this header saves this motherboard is because this is a USB 2.0 header, and I got a USB 2.0 split here that I then got two dongles for, and those dongles are a pluggable Bluetooth USB adapter and then a TP-Link Wi-Fi dongle. With these two products, I am able to get the AC Wi-Fi I needed and Bluetooth connection, and it's a Bluetooth 4.0 connection, which is pretty typical right now. The AC Wi-Fi is a 450 megabit per second connection, and surprisingly enough, that's not because of the actual AC chip or anything like that in the little dongle. That's actually a limitation of using USB 2.0, because USB 2.0's max speed is 450 megabits per second. So it makes pretty sense why it's an AC 450. I thought that ended up being a more ingenious way, and I actually kind of like this better than having built-in Wi-Fi. And the reason I like that is because on that portable PC build, you can look right here, there are two antennas that run off the back side of it here, and those antennas get in the way when you're putting it in and out of a backpack and stuff like that. They stick out, they're just cumbersome to have. Yes, they probably have better range than these little dongles do, but when I'm in Wi-Fi, I never am having a range issue usually. You know, you're in a building that has Wi-Fi everywhere. The little dongles will still be able to connect just fine, so I'm not worried about that. But the conveniences with this connection, with the dongles on it, I can place this within the inside of the case and have them strategically placed where you'll never see them from the outside. So that's what I'm going to try to do, really keep them concealed and stuff, and it'll make the outside of the box a little bit cleaner than in the past video. So I hope you guys like this review of the Biostar X370GTN motherboard. It is, again, one of the only AM4 ITX motherboards, and it's only $109 right now on Newegg. So I definitely would suggest picking one of these up. It was available today when I checked, but it's been in and out of stock recently. So, you know, just check over there. I'll have a link down below if you want to check it out, and pick it up as soon as it's available, if it's not when you guys take a look at it. But I definitely recommend this board if you're looking to get into mini ITX with the Ryzen platform. Hope you guys liked this video. This is Zach with Next Tech News. See ya!